told Abraham, "The people of Sodom and Gomorrah are evil, and everything they do is wicked. I am not pleased with their wickedness." Abraham knew God hated sin. Abraham knew sin needed to be punished. But since he and God were friends, Abraham asked God, "If there are 50 good people in the city, will you destroy it? Surely there must be some good people in the city. You wouldn't want to kill them along with the bad people." "If there are 50 good people, for their sakes I will not destroy the city," God said. "Well, suppose there are only 45 good people," said Abraham. "Will you spare the city then?" "I will not destroy it if I find 45, said God. Abraham was almost afraid to ask, thinking God would become angry. With a trembling voice he asked, "What about 40? What about 30? Will you spare the city if there are only 20 good people?" "I will spare the city for 20, said God. Abraham said, "Don't be upset at me, God. I am only going to ask you once more. What if there are only 10 good people?" "I won't destroy the city if there are 10 good people," God said. "Oh Lord," prayed Abraham, "my nephew Lot and his family live in that city. Spare it for their sakes." The 2 angels who had visited Abraham went on to Sodom. Lot was sitting at the city gate, and he saw the 2 men in the distance walking towards the city. When the men arrived, Lot got up to meet them. "Welcome, welcome," said Lot. "Won't you come to my house and be my guest for the night? You can get up as early in the morning as you'd like and be on your way again." "No, thank you," said the men. "We'll just stretch out our legs and rest on the street a while." "Oh, no, no, no," said Lot. "Be my guest and please come home with me. It is not safe on the streets." The men agreed to go with him. Lot was much like his uncle Abraham when it came to entertaining his friends. He fed them, and when the men were getting ready to go to bed, they heard loud shouting outside the house. "They are troublemakers," said Lot. "I'll go out and talk to them and see if they will go away." "Don't hurt my guests," he told the crowd. "They are not from this area." "Who do you think you are?" they yelled at Lot, and they pushed him aside and started to break down the door. The 2 men inside quickly pulled Lot back into the house and bolted the door. And God blinded the eyes of the wicked men outside so they couldn't find the door. The 2 men who were angels from God said to Lot, "Get out of this place at once. God has sent us to destroy this terrible wicked city. Go and don't look back." Lot didn't know whether to believe the men or not. After all, this was his house. He hesitated, but the angels took out of his hand, his wife's hand, and his 2 daughters' hands and rushed them to safety outside the city. "Run for your lives," said the angels. "Run to the mountains. If you stay here, you will die. And don't look back." "Oh, please," Lot begged. "Don't send me to the mountains. If I have to go there, I won't know how to stay alive. Let me stay at another little city over there, near the mountains." "All right," said the angels, "but hurry." Then God sent fire down from heaven, and the whole city was destroyed. But in spite of the warning, Lot's wife had stopped running. She looked longingly back at her home and all the comforts of Sodom. As she stood there gazing, she was turned into a pillar of salt. The next morning, Abraham was up early. He saw the smoke rising from the place where Sodom and Gomorrah had been. It was like smoke rising from a huge furnace. Then Abraham knew that God had destroyed the cities. But God had remembered Abraham, and for his sake he had saved Lot and his 2 daughters. Abraham asked God to be merciful, even though he knew God had to punish sin. We should thank God for his mercy to us.